Hey guys, what is up everybody? It is me, Cyrese. In today's video, I want to talk about my 7-day skinny to strong reset plan. This is a reset plan that I kind of teach my clients to do if they've taken a break from lifting, they've kind of been decommissioned from the game, they haven't been lifting for a while, and they're trying to get back into it. Maybe they're even new to the gym. This is something I teach new beginners to try out too for a few weeks. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go over the days, kind of go over the guidelines of why it works, and then I'll give you the layout and I'll give you the routine. That way you guys can implement it and give it a shot yourself. So let me go ahead. Let's get started. Let's get into it. So first of all, the guidelines and why this kind of works. For one, this routine, this 7-day thing kind of kickstarts your gains, gives you a really good head start. And on top of that, it's a simple, easy to follow blueprint. It's like not rocket science. It's super easy, super simple. It's not complicated, and it teaches you kind of like the core essentials that you need to follow in order to start actually building muscle. If you are a skinny, natty guy trying to build drug-free muscle with just 2 workouts per week. So another thing is that it's completely optimized and built around natural drug-free growth. So if you're on steroids, this isn't the best program for you, but if you're trying to build muscle completely drug-free, then this is perfect for you. Another thing is that it covers training and it covers eating and it covers recovery as well too, and I try to make it as easy and simple to follow. So on top of that, it is also super beneficial and it boosts your energy and recovery as well too, because let's not skimp out on recovery. If you are a natty guy, recovery is just important as you're training. On top of that, like I said, super easy, not complex. It's designed to work if you're busy as well too. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me actually change my screen over so you guys can actually see. So the days are super simple. I'll zoom in so that way you guys can see. Number one, day one, what you want to do is figure out your maintenance calories and as well as your protein goals. So how do you do that? Super simple. Go to Google. What you want to search for is TDEE. And what you'll find here is the TDEE calculator. Hop on that, click on this. Basically, go ahead and fill this out. I'll fill it out for myself. I'm 26. I weigh 185 pounds. I'm 5'9". I do moderate exercise 3 to 5 days a week. I click calculate. Down here, this is my maintenance calories. Let's just round down and say 2,800 to make it nice and easy. What you would then do after that is you take the number that you just found, pull up your calculator, and in my case, remember my maintenance calories was 2,800. What you want to do is add 500 calories to that, and I get 3,300. The number that you get here after adding 500 is going to be your bulking calories, and that's how many calories you want to eat every single day in order to build muscle. Now, the other thing that I need to mention too is your protein intake as well too. So, quick little example. Let's say you weigh 185 pounds like me. What you want to do then is eat 185 grams of protein every single day. So basically you take how much you weigh in pounds and you eat that number of grams in protein every single day, and you will cover all of your nutrition and you're well on your way to building muscle. So I'll give you one more example. If you weigh 150 pounds, then what you want to do is eat 150 grams of protein every single day and you'll cover your bases. So that's it for day one. On day two, what you want to do is learn about progressive overload. So what is progressive overload? I'll walk you guys through it. Progressive overload is basically trying to get stronger every single time you go to the gym. Now, how can you do that? Well, you can do it 5 different ways. Number one, you can do it with reps. How do you do that? Basically, I'll give you an example. Say you squat 10 reps today. Next week, when it's time to squat again, try to do 11 reps. So you see how you bumped up one number. That would be you increasing the reps. Number two, you can increase the weights. Let's say I squatted 10 pounds today for 10 reps. Next week, I try to squat 11 pounds. So you see how I went up in the weight. It's a little bit heavier. Number three is going to be sets. So let's say you typically squat for 3 sets. Next week, instead of squatting for 3 sets, try to squat for 4. The other thing is to decrease the rest periods, or some people call them rest breaks. Whatever you want to call them is totally fine, but it's the time that you spend resting in between your sets. Let's say you do 3 sets of squats and you rest for 5 minutes between each single one. That's okay. Next week, instead of resting for 5 minutes, try to rest for 4 minutes between each single set. Number 5, the last and final one, which is one a lot of people forget about, is going to be form and technique. How do you guys implement this? Well, say your form's pretty good already and your squat's pretty good. Next week when it's time to squat again, what I want you to do is really focus on your form and technique and make sure it's absolutely perfect. So what does that look like for the example of squats? Well, basically you get under the bar, you go down nice and slow, nice and controlled, and then at the very bottom, as low as you can, you pause for like 1 to 2 seconds and then shoot back up. So can you see how that form and technique would be way better compared to you just bouncing up and down as fast as you can on the squat bar? Basically, if you can improve your technique, you'll get more bang for your buck out of the exercise, and you'll be more like deliberate with your time while you're in the gym. So once you've learned about progressive overload, the next thing you need to do on day 3 is learn about the V-taper muscles. Guys, your V-taper muscles are going to be the muscles that give you like a really good look when it comes to being a natty lifter. And on top of that, building out these muscles is super achievable. Any natty lifter can do it. And I'll walk you guys kind of through which ones they are. So it's going to be your neck muscles, your trap muscles, your shoulders, mainly your side delts primarily, or some people call them their middle delts as well too. They're the same thing. After that, you want to focus on your triceps, your forearms, and your lats, which will kind of give you that V-taper look by building out your lats from a wide angle. So if you guys focus on these exercises, or not these exercises, but rather focus on these muscle groups and do exercises around these muscle groups, I promise you guys will start to see results, and it'll really help build up that V-taper look. So I'll give you a quick couple examples of exercises that work for each muscle group. For neck, you could do any type of neck curl or extension. You can do that with cables or like plates. For traps, any type of like shrug. So you can do barbell shrugs, dumbbell shrugs work great too. You can do cable shrugs. Those are all awesome examples. If I could spell. For your shoulders, any type of lateral raise will work beautifully. You can do lateral raises with dumbbells, cables, both work perfectly great. Now triceps, a lot of people actually mistrain their triceps and they're not as optimal as they could be. Training your triceps, you are way better off doing any type of overhead tricep work. So that could be like an overhead cable extension or an overhead like dumbbell extension, overhead skull crusher. Regular skull crushers work as well too for this. So the difference between an overhead tricep exercise and like a regular tricep exercise is exactly what it sounds like. Anytime you're moving your triceps this way, up and down, you are actually hitting the long head of the tricep compared to if you're doing like a tricep push down where you're pushing down like this with the cable or something, for example. You are actually training the smaller head of the tricep. And when you train the long head version or the long head part of the tricep, it's actually responsible for more growth and size because the long head is actually way bigger than the other 3 heads. So I always tell guys if they want big arms, focus on the triceps. And then if you want even bigger arms, focus on the long head rather than the short head of the tricep. Now, another thing that people rarely ever train is forearms. Forearms are super important for giving you that V-taper look because they make your arms look huge, not from just the shoulder down to your elbow, but actually the entire arm. So real quick, just to kind of give you guys an example of like why you should train forearms is if you go on Google and look at forearm like progression and like better looks, if I could find a decent photo, I guess this is kind of like a good example. Here's Alpha Destiny, Alexander Leonidas. But if you guys look at his forearms, like his forearms are absolutely massive. And it really like improves your look. Like if you take a look at this guy, like yeah, he's pretty shredded. But if you guys take a look at his forearms, are a little skinny and it just kind of defeats the look. Let me see if I can find any other example. Like if you take a look at this guy, his forearms are almost the same size of his like upper arm, and it really makes his look even way better. Here's another example. Like this guy's veiny, he's shredded, he's lean, but his forearms are a little small, and it just kind of makes his overall arm look kind of small. Here's a good example as well too. Look at this guy's arms, look at his hands, even his hand muscles are absolutely huge. If you guys look at this, this is a really good example, and this is something you should strive for. So, like I said, a lot of people don't train their forearms when I definitely recommend that you should. What are some example exercises for training your forearms? Typically, it is any type of flat bicep curl. So you can do like a barbell curl, dumbbell curl, of course. You can do curls with cables. You can do reverse curls. Those are really good for your forearms. Some other examples are like specific wrist curls that directly target the forearms. Reverse wrist curls are great as well too. Any type of wrist curl or any type of like flat bicep curl works really well. And last but not least is the lats. This is the lats are probably the most responsible muscle group that helps like define that V-taper look. Some quick examples of things you can do that will train your lats. There's like any type of vertical row, so a pull up, a lat pull down, pull up variations. All of them work really super well. So what are the variations? It's things like neutral grip pull up, wide grip pull ups, narrow grip pull ups, weighted pull ups versus body weight pull ups. Both are really good. Weighted or body weight, like I suggested. But just to kind of show you guys another example, like if you get that V-taper look, here's kind of what it looks like and why it works really well. So look at this guy, and if I can pull up this picture a little bit bigger. So specifically looking at this guy on the right, like if you look at him, he's not like the biggest guy, right? Like he's not absolutely gigantic or something. His forearm, like his arms are like a decent size. Probably looks a little bit smaller, like with a shirt on. But if you look at this guy's lats here on the side, he is so wide. And even though he's not the biggest guy ever, having this like V-taper look like really makes it easy to accentuate like how you look. Same thing with this guy. Like from the side profile, you can literally see his lats here on the side flaring out. Like look at his arms too. Look at his forearms. Like I said, not the biggest guy, but having those defined like nice wide lats really helps with your look. So let's see if I can find like another example of like a V-taper versus no V-taper. That way you can kind of see the comparison. I think this first picture is a pretty good example. If you look at this guy, this appears to be the same dude, I think. Pretty sure this is the same dude. But here, you know, he's kind of boxy shaped. He's just shaped like a regular rectangle. He definitely looks like he has less muscle here, of course, but in the picture on the right, looks like he's been training for a little bit, been on top of his diet, on top of his nutrition, and you can literally see like the gap between like him having his lat muscles protrude from the side here, and you see like it's not like he gained 40 pounds, 30 pounds of muscle. Like he looks almost the same size. He just looks a little bit more defined. But you see like how he's been training his lats, and it really makes him look way bigger compared to the first picture. That's why training for things like a V-taper really help accentuate your look. So that was kind of a long tangent. Let's go back to the guide. We just talked about day 3, which is learning about the V-taper muscles. Day 4 is instead of having like a random workout routine or like any type of random like workout program that you follow or random split, what I teach is to train full body 2 times a week. You train full body, you take 2 days off, you train full body again, you take 3 days off, and you repeat that every single week. So a good example is you train on Monday, take Tuesday, Wednesday off, train Thursday, take the rest of the week off, and then you repeat next week. So you would just train Monday and Thursday every single week. To go back to the example, you train full body, and then days 5 and 6, you focus on active recovery, and then day 6 is you would want to learn about the essentials of recovery. So real quick, I'll explain to you guys again what active recovery is in case you guys don't know. Active recovery is basically kind of what it sounds like. Instead of just sitting at home on your rest day and doing absolutely nothing at all, just sitting there on the couch, what is actually way better and way more beneficial for your gains, your fitness, and your recovery is actually to start implementing active recovery. So what is that? Basically, it's getting a little bit of blood flow into your muscles, into your body through like any type of lightweight, low fatigue exercise. So that is things like walking, biking, Stairmaster at like a super slow speed, maybe like incline treadmill, super slow speed, walk your dog, play basketball, but not like full games, full court, but kind of like shoot hoops or something like that. Ping pong, golf, like tennis, practice, I would say, like not actual full speed tennis. Basically, it's any type of exercise where you're getting your heart rate up a little bit, like you're breathing a little bit, but you're not dying. You're not doing an actual workout. It's not actually fatiguing. Something I really like to do for active recovery, since I have access to it, is I have access to a gym right outside my house. It's like a 30-second walk. It's our condo gym. And what I like to do on my off days is I like to go to the gym and I'll literally just go and do like a full body like circuit, except I'm doing exercises like with super, super low weight, and I'm only doing reps of like 10 to 20. And it's literally weight that's like super easy. It's not fatiguing at all. I'm pretty much just going in there, getting a small pump in just to get some blood flow into the muscles. And like I said, what that does is it speeds up the recovery between your workouts, so that way you can come back quickly and come back quickly more refreshed for your next workout. So I highly recommend doing active recovery anytime you can on your off days rather than just sitting around. And then lastly, whatever your second training day would be another full body day. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, for example, you could do like a Monday here and like a Thursday here. So the order is a little off in terms of days, but you would just switch this to like up here so it's day one, obviously. So if you guys are looking for an actual full body routine that you can follow, this is one that I wrote up really quick that is designed to kind of work on those V-taper muscles that I suggested earlier. So what would you do? This one's super easy, super concise. It focuses on compound lifts as well too. Basically, you would want to start with your seated shoulder press, and you can do this with dumbbells or barbells. This is to work on your shoulders, work on your middle delts, get kind of wide. This is going to really build up kind of like that bowling ball look in your shoulders and build a lot of the main like girth and roundness around your shoulders. Do 3 sets of like 8 to 12. Then you want to switch to working on your lats. So if you can do body weight pull-ups, do body weight pull-ups. If you can't, do lat pull-down machine and bring down the weight just a little bit. Again, here you want to do like 3 sets of like 8 to 12. Incline press, basically any kind of incline bench press. You can do on a bench with a barbell, or you can do a dumbbell as well too. Same thing, 3 sets of 8 to 12. Then you want to hit your legs a little bit. I would say either work on quads on day 1 and hamstrings on day 2, or vice versa, hamstrings on day 1, quads on day 2. For quads, you can do any type of squat, any type of leg press. For hamstrings or day 2, you can do any type of deadlift, or maybe even an RDL, like a Romanian deadlift. Same thing here. I would do 3 sets, except I would bring the numbers down a little bit. Probably do like 8 to 12 or 8 to 10 instead of 8 to 12. Last couple exercises, do a barbell shrug, 3 sets, 10 to 12. You can do dumbbells here if you want as well too. Then you want to do triceps, and like I said, overhead is way more beneficial for your overall growth for your triceps compared to hitting the short head. So do some overhead tricep cable extensions, 3 sets of like 10 to 15. Then you want to finish with barbell curls, 3 sets of 10 to 15. So guys, that's the full body routine. These are the guides again. I gave you guys guidelines. If I just had 7 days to kind of reset somebody or get somebody on the right path who was like a young skinny guy trying to build muscle, completely drug free, this is exactly what I would have them do. So hopefully that was cool. Hopefully that sounds interesting. If you guys want to implement that, feel free to give it a shot. If I remember, I'll put this stuff in the description. If I forget, you'll just have to pause the video and check it out again. But that was it, guys. However, if you are looking for a more in-depth version of this, I have a complete A to Z program that covers everything you could absolutely need. If you are a skinny, natty guy trying to build drug-free muscle with just 2 workouts per week, we teach this in full, thorough, in-depth guides, complete video courses, direct support, one-on-one access to me, video trainings, video coaching calls, live calls, community support, full brotherhood of other guys just like yourself. If that sounds cool, I'll put a link in the description below for you to check out. If not, peace out. See you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys got some value.